Yeah, it must be unusual. What exactly are you doing?
I'm a monster.
I know you're a monster. Thinking back today, saying I've not thought about once since when it happened. Asked to play in the band I was in my early 20s at a birthday party, and we said yes, and I made flyers for it. It was a private party, and I made flyers, and I was giving them out. I don't know what I was thinking, and completely innocently, and it was only just a bit of fun, I advertised it as a riot. These days I'd have ended up arrested, probably put inside for inciting public disorder. But yeah, the daughter and the parents of the person whose party it was turned up at the pub beer garden crying one night, slammed one of the flyers down in front of me and just said, "What the fuck are you playing at?" And I honestly thought, what is your problem? It's just a little bit of comedy and satire. I honestly could not see why they were upset by me inviting people to their house en masse to have a riot. Seriously, some people are so damn sensitive. Well, my daughter has gone back with her mum for a few days, and I can't pretend that kind of sense of emptiness isn't something that's followed me from the last place to here, but the difference being able to just enter my own home. That's it. I've got no one else to think about. Me and my daughter, and that's it. And even when she's not here, you know, her presence, this is our home. And it feels damn good. But I can't pretend, as I say, you know, that sort of emptiness when she leaves. You know, she makes a place so alive. I know when they're not my kids, they can be damned annoying. But she'd have to put her foot so far out of place, which she's never done in 10 years now, to ever really annoy me. And yeah, I miss her when she's not here. I miss her a lot. But you get Sunday out of the way. Monday's a bit of a sort of neutral day for me always, but then before you know it, it's Tuesday, Wednesday, and looking forward to the weekend again. And having my own house now, or my own flat, I'm not wishing time away. And I'm going to be able to enjoy the time that I have to myself under this roof, and I appreciate it so damn much. I really do. I've been through so much to come to this sort of peaceful conclusion for now that that experience makes me appreciate every second that I've got now that is my own. Looking at this background today, you can see such an instant alteration in my circumstances. It's beginning to dawn on me in very positive ways that I'm no longer living in a 8-foot by 12-foot hovel that is a prison cell for me and my daughter for 50% of her time and 100% of mine, you know, in the last year especially. Signed off by the doctor for mental health issues, and I've been at home for a year, as most of us have. We all know what's been going on in the world. But just the psychological impact of looking at that site behind me, this beautiful living room, has had nothing but a positive effect on me. Nothing. Shut that front door, it's just me and my daughter. It's always me and my daughter, strangely. You know, even when she's not here, this is still, you know, she's still here with me. You know, it's a funny feeling being a parent. You never switch off. But I was watching the Walking Dead recently, and curiosity got the better of me, and I wanted to see an interview with a guy who played a character, Korean guy called Glenn in the show. His name's Stephen Yeun in the real world, I believe. But they showed a clip of the first time he ever kissed his on-screen wife, Maggie, and he had his eyes open, and they were teasing him, saying, "I hope you've got better form than that in real life." And he said something that made me think about love, and it made me think about when life is really surprising you, but you're actually living it in that moment. He said, when things that magical happen, you can't believe it's happening to you, and you find yourself in life being a participant and an observer. And I thought that nails when you have those alterations in your life that should be on a regular basis. You know, our lives get caught in such a rut, and there's very little we can do about that. But you know, that those times in your life where you're an observer but also a participant, and you're just thinking, is this really me? Is this girl really interested in me? Is this life really happening? Is every day that unfolds and this level of joy that's occurring to me, is that really me? You know, when you're just that observer in your own life, it can be utterly crazy. But I thought, I don't know if that's made you think, but I thought that was a beautiful thing that he said, that, you know, when things that, well, he was only talking about his on-screen character, but he said when things that wonderful happen, you're a participant and an observer in your own life. And yeah, absolutely wonderful way of putting it. But, you know, what's it all taught me? I guess recently life just does change when you least expect it, in good and bad ways, you know. And this last fortnight has been one of those lightning strikes of alteration of good. You know, there's been a few lightning strikes of absolute tragedy in my life in the last few years, and there's been some absolute joy as well. And I'm finding that being open and being willingly vulnerable and sort of willingly open to the fact that I could do with a bit of help at the moment. I've got very little money and no furniture. You know, like my mum bought me that mattress there. It's not staying in here. It's just the bedroom is completely empty, no carpet. It'd just be awful sleeping in there. You know, just making this room my focus at the moment. I think it looks beautiful. But yeah, I've opened myself up and admitted I'm not in the best position with regards to sort of sorting this place out. And people who know me have said, here's some help. And I'm seeing a lot more positivity than I am negativity. But I tell you what you do notice is when people do want to, when they've got an agenda, when they are hateful, toxic sacks of poison, they will find negativity in anything you do or say. It's like those morons who just instantly click dislike on my videos, other videos. They decide that somebody making a video is their poster boy for whatever annoys them, and they just feast on it, you know? The irony is, if any of those people all met in real life, I've seen people at Comic-Cons and things like that where they've had beef with other YouTubers for years. They meet up and realise, oh shit, I can't carry this on as we did online, because we're actually looking into each other's hearts and minds, and we get on with each other. You know, there's very little of it that's actually real with regards to the beef that people have got. But what follows is just something, I don't want to end on a negative note, but look at this, you know, this guy obviously is one of those people who just wants to see nothing but negativity and hate. Maybe it makes sense of how miserable his life is. But yeah, this made me think today. Anyway, hope it's a beautiful day where you are, as it is here. Just went to use my mouse to turn my phone off. It's so weird having a setup where I've got my computer on a desk with a mouse mat and everything like that, as opposed to just being stuck at the end of my bed with a keyboard that I have to put on my knees to use, and therefore this PC hasn't been used in 2 years really, and now it's on every day and used as it should be. It's so much good happening at the moment, so much to be grateful for. And your good wishes over the last couple of weeks, or the last week now, have meant the world to me. You know, it is nice to know that this is worth doing. It's always worth doing, because I'm a selfish person, and venting my spleen is good. But hearing back from people, it does mean a lot to me. Don't ever think I'm anything other than a self-serving, selfish person. You know, really don't want anything but the truth. You know, take it easy. Some people are so bitter and twisted. Check this out. On a buying and selling secondhand goods page on Facebook for my area, I put a message up saying I've just moved to an unfurnished flat looking for comfy armchairs, and a few people have sent me pictures, and I said clearly in a message as it went on that my only problem is that I don't have a car. Somebody decides to comment saying, "So you're asking for free furniture and delivery? Laugh out loud." Isn't it amazing what people will project onto what you've said to just go no further than prove what a hateful person they are? You know, it just absolutely amazes me that people can be that driven to want to be negative that they will project onto what I've said. The fact that I expect free furniture, at no point did I stress that. You know, it's what people want to see. I bet if you actually spoke to that person about people who are unemployed or anything like that, they'd have every predictable attitude under the sun. If they talked about asylum seekers, every predictable attitude under the sun. If they talked about not treating gay people or racial minorities with a little bit of respect, oh, it's not like the good old days. Guaranteed, I'd put money on it. You know, one of the ironies, or one of the many ironies of life under this umbrella, is that sometimes you can look at things from one point of view and you can have experience of said event, commodity, whatever, and you'll see it can be very different. And I know with regards to things like sofas and white goods, having worked in recycling in this very area, that if you've got a sofa you need to get rid of, or a fridge or what have you, it costs you a fortune, relatively speaking. It's £20 to get rid of a sofa or an armchair, £30 to get rid of a refrigerator or freezer. So the whole culture of people sharing things on FreeCycle and the like, it's doing two people a favour. Somebody who's short of money or moved into an unfurnished place like this and short of money, who need some furniture, and the people trying to get rid of it, you're doing them a favour. So the price that they would pay, they get rid of it for free. It's a win-win situation. You know, people in this world, I've learned this over the years, is we've got to stop looking at things from, if anything gets into a point of, or a state of mind where we feel hateful and like that thing in society is just wrong, you really need to view it from multiple standpoints before you make your decision, because you're bloody freeloaders. There's a whole culture out there of people trying to get rid of things that are perfectly serviceable, that is going to cost them to get rid of. And they weigh up the pros and cons and think giving this away is going to be a whole lot better. In fact, you can put a few quid on it. You know, I'm not saying everything should be free. Sell it for a tenner. Put it on a Facebook buy and sell group. There is a whole culture of people scratching each other's backs, and you can see it from the point of view of bloody scrounging freeloaders, or you can just have a reasonable attitude for it and just think, yeah, I can see it's a mutually beneficial situation. So many people out there just sitting there waiting for confrontation and things to satisfy their loathing of humanity. You know, I can understand people having a certain amount of resentment and loathing for humanity. You know, anybody watching this channel would understand that I'm very sort of ambivalent about humanity and the way we treat each other. And, you know, I include myself in that. But when it's just those people and there doesn't seem to be any justification or reason, except I was born in this country and my family have always thought in the language of hate, you know, no, I'm not tolerating that. No one should, and this stuff needs mentioning. It seems like minutiae, but it's these tiny little things that keep society in the dark ages. Keep people thinking bloody dole scum, bloody immigrants, all of it, you know. Got to think of it from a new perspective, and I think that just putting as many voices out there just saying, no, you're not doing this in my name, the better, you know.